The dark fate of Austria's royal jewels. A royal crown, torn apart by a conman, its pearls shattered, one surfacing years later in a quiet Paris shop. Rubies once smuggled out of France for Marie Antoinette ended up with Empress Elisabeth, before vanishing with a man who was never seen again, and a black mourning tiara worn by Empress Zita in exile is believed to be buried with her, lost to history or something darker. These aren't myths, they're real, and the secrets behind Austria's royal jewels are only just beginning to unravel. So let's start, but before that we would love your support. If you could smash the like and subscribe buttons, we would be forever happy to create more amazing videos for you. Archduchess Diamond Wreath Necklace. Born in 1925, Princess Regina of Saxe-Meiningen lived a life of quiet nobility, first as a wartime nurse and social worker, then as the loyal consort to Archduke Otto von Habsburg, the last crown prince of Austria-Hungary. Yet behind her reserved grace gleamed a piece of regal splendour, the Diamond Laurel Wreath Necklace. A breathtaking arrangement of graduated diamond leaves, the necklace wraps around the neck in a shimmering embrace, crowned with a striking diamond star clasp, an imperial touch of symbolism and strength. Its origin? Unknown, possibly from her Saxe-Meiningen heritage, like her pearl bandeau or a forgotten Habsburg heirloom resurrected for courtly grandeur. First seen in 1967 at the Liechtenstein royal wedding, it lit up every gala, from her daughter Walburga's nuptials to Infanta Cristina of Spain's wedding. It last sparkled at her 2001 golden anniversary. And then, silence, never worn again. A jewel that whispered loyalty and legacy, worn by a woman who never chased a throne, yet upheld an empire's dignity till the end. Habsburg Ruby Parure. Empress Elisabeth of Austria, Sisi, was more myth than monarch. A Bavarian duchess turned reluctant empress at 16. She defied court rules, obsessed over beauty, and never recovered from her son Rudolph's suicide. In 1898, she was stabbed through the heart in Geneva. What she left behind still haunts history. Among her most mesmerizing jewels was the Habsburg Ruby Parure, crafted in 1854 from rubies once smuggled out of France by Marie Antoinette's hairdresser. Franz Joseph gifted them to Sisi as a wedding token of love. The parure, a floral tiara of ruby petals and diamond vines, a choker-mounted necklace, a massive corsage brooch, and twin ruby sprays, flexible, symbolic, fiercely personal. Part of the closely guarded Austrian royal jewels, but privately owned, Sisi wore it in portraits and in grief, modifying it after Rudolph's death. After the empire's fall, it was spirited from Vienna to Switzerland, then vanished. An advisor entrusted with the jewels simply disappeared. To this day, no one knows where the rubies lie, only that they once crowned a ghost. Empress Zita's Diamond Tiara. Crafted in 1911 by the famed Viennese court jeweller Cookurt, Empress Zita's Diamond Tiara wasn't just a gift, it was a statement. Commissioned by Emperor Franz Joseph as a wedding present for Princess Zita of Bourbon-Parma, it symbolized dynastic approval and imperial welcome. The tiara's design is a delicate marvel. 5 diamond hearts, each lovingly interwoven with volutes and diamond-studded leaves, all anchored on a sleek bandeau. Romantic and regal, yet quietly modern, it reflected the youthful elegance of its 19-year-old bride. Zita wore the tiara on her wedding day to Archduke Karl, who would become the last Emperor of Austria in 1916. But fate was ruthless. By 1918, the monarchy collapsed. Exiled, impoverished, and widowed by 1922, Empress Zita never wore her wedding tiara again. It became a relic of a life she lost too soon. Strangely, the diadem re-emerged in 1951 on her daughter-in-law Princess Regina, worn at her wedding and once more for a royal event. Then, vanished. By the 1990s, it was simply gone. Whispered to be sold, perhaps discreetly amid financial strain or quiet necessity. What makes it so haunting? It's not just diamonds, it's memory. A tiara tied to a throne, a marriage, a fall, a royal love story frozen in sparkle, then lost. Empress Zita's jet tiara. She was the last Empress of Austria, exiled, widowed and unrelenting. But her most iconic jewel wasn't diamond-studded, it was pitch black. Crafted entirely from jet beads and plaques in a Belle Epoque floral design, Empress Zita's tiara symbolized mourning, likely made around 1889, the year Crown Prince Rudolph died in the mailing scandal. Zita, born Princess of Bourbon-Parma, became Empress in 1916, and a widow by 1922. She wore black for 67 years, and the jet tiara became her signature piece. She wore it at 5 royal weddings between 1949 to 1953, including that of her heir Otto von Habsburg, always as the veiled matriarch in exile. Then, it vanished. No records, no museum appearances. Some say it was buried with her. Others believe it was quietly dismantled. Either way, the Austrian royal tiara of sorrow remains one of Europe's most enigmatic lost jewels. Archduchess Yoland's tiara. Born a princess of Ligne, Archduchess Yoland of Austria married Archduke Karl Ludwig, the 4th son of Emperor Charles III and Empress Zita, securing her place in the heart of Habsburg royalty. Quiet in public, but when it comes to jewels, her tiara did all the talking. Set in gold, this dazzling tiara stuns with rows of old-cut diamonds and a dramatic fan-shaped centerpiece holding a striking central pearl, almost certainly natural. But here's the catch. No one truly knows its origin. Some say it came from the Ligne vaults. Others whisper it was commissioned when Yoland joined the imperial family, a possible secret gift from Empress Zita. It made waves at the 1960 royal wedding ball of King Baudouin. Later, it crowned Baroness Hélène in 1976 and Yoland's daughter Alexandra in 1984. In 2018, it re-emerged on Mathilde Vignon but skipped several Habsburg brides. Because the tiara, insiders believe, now belongs strictly to Archduke Rudolph's line, raising questions of family politics, inheritance, and a jewel too symbolic to share. Austria Est Tiara. A tiara of restrained opulence, the Austria Est Tiara stuns with twin rows of brilliant diamonds and a regal central motif that whispers old-world elegance. Its exact origins remain cloaked in mystery, yet whispers link it to the Habsburgs, the House of Savoy-Austria, or even the Bourbon-Parmas. But what's certain is this tiara carries decades of dynastic romance. First worn in 1953 by Princess Margherita of Savoy-Austria at her wedding to the Archduke of Austria Est, it became the crown of choice for her daughter, Archduchess Maria Beatrice, in 1980, and again for granddaughter Archduchess Isabella in 1997. A rare public sighting came in 1992. Princess Astrid of Belgium wore it at Queen Margrethe's silver wedding gala. Yet today all eyes await. Will Countess Olympia be the next to claim its legacy? Time will tell. Archduchess Marie Valérie's Cookurt Tiara. Born into imperial splendour in 1868, Archduchess Marie Valérie of Austria was Empress Elisabeth's beloved youngest child. So cherished, she was called the only one. Though raised under her mother's shadow, Marie Valérie carved her own life, marrying for love and curating a personal jewellery collection that reflected quiet elegance and imperial legacy. Among her most stunning pieces is the Cookurt Pearl and Diamond Tiara, acquired in 1913. Designed by the famed Viennese jeweller Cookurt, this tiara was anything but ordinary. Crafted in gold and silver, it featured 3 ornate diamond plaques, each cradling a luminous natural drop pearl. The masterpiece was modular, transforming into brooches, pendants, even a necklace. Its original version was topped with pearl finials and flanked by 2 extra diamond plaques on a detachable bandeau. Royal versatility at its finest. It graced formal portraits, weddings, including her daughter's, and vanished into private hands until a jaw-dropping auction in 2005, selling for $200,000. Habsburg Paradot Peru. Peradot in royal jewels is exceptionally rare, and yet the Habsburg Paradot Peru dazzled with defiance. 7 gleaming pear-shaped pendants in deep olive hues, once resting on the crown of Europe's most powerful women. Crafted in the 1820s by Cookurt, imperial jeweller of the Austrian court, this parure, a tiara, necklace, corsage ornament, earrings, and brooches, first belonged to Princess Henrietta of Nassau-Weilburg, wife of Archduke Charles. Passing down the Habsburg-Teschen line, it landed with Archduchess Isabella of Croy, wife of Archduke Friedrich. A mother of 9 and grand matriarch of dynastic alliances, Isabella wore the set triumphantly, most notably at the 1916 coronation of Emperor Charles I of Austria. The necklace is a masterpiece. Its 7 massive peridots detach and double as tiara ornaments, versatile opulence at its finest. After decades in a vault, it reappeared in 2000 stunning experts, sold to Fred Leighton, then to billionaire heiress Lily Safra, who auctioned pieces for charity in 2012. Rumour has it, a part of the parure is still hidden, waiting to dazzle again. Habsburg Crown Pearls. The crown of the Empresses of Austria, once ablaze with heirloom pearls and historic diamonds, wasn't just regalia, it was a legacy sculpted in gold, silver, and sorrow. First worn by Maria Theresa in 1741, this majestic circlet rose with lily-shaped prongs, rosettes of diamonds and pearl-tipped arches that once graced the head of Empress Elisabeth during the 1867 Hungarian coronation. Witnesses said she floated like a living painting, a haunting image of majesty and humility. But what happened next still shocks historians. During the fall of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the crown was smuggled into Switzerland, meant to fund a failed royal comeback. Instead, it fell into the hands of a dubious financier who ripped out the gems, shattered the pearls, and vanished. When Empress Zita returned and opened the chest, expecting memory and majesty, she found only ruin. And decades later, a lone pearl surfaced in Paris. Could it be hers? Or a ghost of imperial glory lost forever? That's it for now. Let us know which jewel story touched you the most. Till then, stay tuned for more videos.